Alright guys, and we are back in beautiful Green Bay, Wisconsin at the ONEIDA Casino and Hotel for the inaugural Women's World 8-Ball Championship. This match, we've got Brittany Bryant against Sara Rocha. It appears Sara has won the all-important lag. This is an alternating break format. So the winner of the lag, if it does go hill-hill, will be the one breaking for the final rack in the set. Two phenomenal players coming at you for this match. Pretty evenly matched according to Fargo. Brittany does have the edge by 13 points, but we all know that doesn't mean anything. It's all about how you play on the table. Expecting a great match here. All right, Sara's approaching the table, and we are underway. All right, she put a little bit more backspin on that. The cue ball came all the way back down to the table. I think this break's going to come up dry. Alright, as far as this layout's concerned, I really do like the way the stripes are positioned. I don't mind the solids either. She's got a decent opening shot on both. The 9 ball looks to be the best opener for the stripes. If she wasn't elevated over the 6, I would say the 11 might be the play, just to try and free up the pocket for the 15. But that didn't seem to be as much of an option. Alright, she's played good shape there for the 10. Probably going to float up for the 12 next if I had to guess. Oh no, she's come all the way across the table, gave the 8 a little nudge and got really good shape to go ahead and take care of that 11. She's actually fallen, it looks to be on the perfect angle to play the cue ball forward 2 rails up for the 13 ball in the same pocket. Or she can play the 13 now and come up for the 14 in the side next. It appears that's what she's done. I don't mind this. It gives her a little bit straighter of an angle for the 11 ball, and the 15 ball will go all the way down. That's what she just looked at. We are playing with Aramith Pro Cup billiard balls and on the brand new Olhausen 9-foot pro style tables. Alright, it looks like she's looking at taking care of the 12 now. I would be surprised if she didn't just draw back a little bit to about where she's at now if she does shoot the 12. Great shot there. Alright, now you just got to kind of slow roll this 14 into the side. That way you don't hook yourself on the 15 with the 2 ball. Looks like she's going to be traveling away from the 15, which is slightly ideal. Nathan, it is a combination of people who pick the stream table. So the tournament director is the one assigning the tables, but there are a couple different people who have input on who's going on the stream. It is kind of tough because some rounds follow right after the other. It makes it a little bit of a guessing game of who you might have to wait until about halfway through the match to see who you think might come out on top. And if it gets to be a close match, then you just kind of have to guess. Either way, we try to bring you the best matches we can for the stream. Let's see, she's gone a little bit too far. It's kind of an awkward stretch. She either went too far or not far enough. If the 8-ball passes in the corner down here in the bottom right, then she went too far. But if it didn't, it looks like she might have been trying to play the gap between the 5 and the 6 to play the 8-ball in the side pocket on the left. Alright. After a dry break, Brittany's run all the way down to the 8-ball. She's left a pretty open table here for Sara. She just has to come with a decent positional shot here off the 3 to try and get in the honey hole. Alright, nice positional shot there by Sara. Nathan, I don't quite understand the question. If you could reword it for me, that would be ideal. I'd be happy to answer your questions. I just don't quite understand what you're asking on that one. Alright, looks like Sara's going to clean up here. And she does. She takes the lead, holding serve on the break, 1-0. Nathan, was the AAPA? Pale, there were 64 players in the draw. 64 players representing, I do believe, 29 different countries. Nice break there by Brittany. She's got the 15 down, which is the ball that most players are trying to make. Trying to make either of the two balls behind the head ball in one of the side pockets. She had a little bit more topspin on that break than she wanted. She would rather be parked in the middle of the table, but I think she'll be okay if she can find a good opener here. Stripes do look like the best layout, but solids are not bad either. If she has a clean shot at the 10, I do believe that that will be the play. Oh, unfortunate miss there. Oh, Nathan, I see what you're saying. So, the way I understand it, and keep in mind I'm not a part of the WPBA or the WPA, but the first 32 invites went to the top 32 ranked women's players in the world, most of whom are associated with the WPBA. Some aren't. And then there were 32 wild cards that were extended to the next 32. Is my understanding. There were also some wild cards guaranteed for certain nationalities and or federations. I hope that kind of helps answer your question. It's not a definitive answer because I don't know that for a factual basis, but that has been my best understanding of it, and that's super unfortunate for Sara. She is welded to the 8. I don't even need an overhead to see it. I don't even know how you kick out of this. I mean, I guess you can go 2 rails at the 7. Looks like she's going to try and swerve. Pale, that is correct. It is definitely a world championship. There are players from all over the globe. It's super awesome to be a part of this event. Me and the rest of the X-Pool team are super grateful that we were extended an invite to be a part of it. Yeah, I think she's looking at the 2-rail kick towards the 7 now. She's looking at going a little flatter, maybe 2 rails towards the 4. Yeah. That was always going to be tough. Brittany with a good chance here to clean up. No real trouble. Jude, I really do appreciate that. We've done everything we can to make sure that this is as smooth as possible on the production side. We did have some technical issues on day one and a little bit on day two. We feel like we've got most of them corrected. We're doing everything we can to bring you guys the best experience to view this prestigious event. This is all for the players and the spectators. I will tell you countless man hours went into this entire event as Brittany uses the entire corner pocket for that 10 ball. Probably going to see her. Uh-oh. I love Brittany. She's just such a good sport. Such an awesome person. Sees Sarah's chalk on the ground, walks over while she has a shot clock going and picks it up for her. That was true sportsmanship and true class. Gotta love it. All right, looks like Brittany's going to take this cut all the way down the rail on the 9. Beautiful positional shot right there for Brittany Bryant. Now the question is, does she play the 14 or the 11 first? I kind of like the 14 because there's a lot more space to make the 11. But she has a decent angle. It's actually a pretty good angle to kind of punch out and get back above the 8. Oh, she just decided to stay below it. See, the only issue with this shot is now you're moving your work away from the 8 ball, which is the one ball that you really want to play really good position on. She might be able to kill this ball depending on how thin she's hitting it with an inside ball off the rail. She just doesn't want to be 50-yard line. She's leaked a little bit to the right, but she is pretty head-on with the 8, making it a little bit more difficult. Great shot. Way to bear down and make the ball, Brittany. Beautiful run out after receiving ball in hand on the missed kick by Sara. We do have a pretty good match coming up. I believe it's going to be on table 4. Naomi Williams against Bean Hung. All right. Sara with a good break. She's pocketed what looked to be the 11 ball on the side, on the left-hand side pocket. So good shot by her. And then I do believe stripes are the better layout. They're all kind of out in the open. I will let you guys know that we do have our 2 featured table matches set for tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. when we resume play after this round. Table 1 is going to be Kennedy Myman and Sophia Mast. Table 2 is going to be Ashley Benoit and Caroline Powell. 2 great matches to start the day on the featured tables. Really looking forward to those. Guys, I'm going to step away real quick. I gotta go have a quick conversation, and I'll be right back. Y'all enjoy the pool while I'm gone. See you in a second. Alright. So it looks like Sara's still at the table. Working on a break and run here. Needs it to bounce off the rail. She's going to have a pretty severe back cut. She's got to really kill this ball off the first rail. It looks like she's thinking about going through the window of the 2 and the 8, but man, that gets a little dangerous. If you happen to contact the 5 pretty thick, you could end up in trouble and be hooked behind the 1 and the 2. Or if you just catch the 1 thin. She's caught the window well. She is a little bit steeper on this ball than she wanted to be, but I think she'll be okay. I think, yep, she's drilled it. It's a nice breaking run by Sara Rocha. So far, both players are holding serve on the breaks. Be careful. All right. So she's dropped a couple balls, but there is a couple problems. We've got the 1, 5, and 13 all tied up, bunched up in the middle of the table.
And her opponent from Indonesia, ONEIDA WPA.
Alright, so Brittany's got to find a way to navigate this rack. The 5 is the only ball that might have a pocket. It might be the left-hand side. I think that's why you see her playing the 2. She might be able to play the 5 off of the 13. The problem is, if you miss it, you leave a wide open table for your opponent. So I'm kind of curious to see how she navigates this rack, what her thought process is. Alright, so she's electing to go for the stripes because it came with a pretty natural breakout angle. She's done well with it. The only ball she really has to worry about now is the 9. She needs to make a good shot here. Is she going to try and play the 14? I thought she might try and play the 13 and roll up for the 9 down here in the bottom right-hand corner. Alright, I think we're going to see her kind of play a little safety shot. I like clipping off the 15 and trying to get on the backside of the 6. You're not really leaving any shots for your opponent. Is she trying to cut the 15? I mean, it is cuttable. It's always better to stay at the table if you can. Yeah, it just looked uncomfortable. She's gotten really fortunate, though, that the 15s blocked the 5 and the 6. Consequently, though, I think it might have gotten the 9. I don't know. Might be able to cheat the pocket a little bit. But I don't know if you can cheat it that much. To everyone just now joining us, my name's Sean Denny. I am a part of the X-Pool team. We are the ones bringing the entire production for this inaugural Women's World 8-Ball Championship. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you don't mind, leave a like, comment, and share the stream. That would be ideal, and we'd be forever grateful for it. All right, another miss, but she missed it well. She's not really left her opponent anything to shoot at. The 6 and the 5 are still tied together, and they don't go in this bottom right-hand corner pocket, even if she was above it. She's blocked her on the 3 ball with the 15. What a shot there by Brittany. All right. Karen, welcome to the stream. Thank you for tuning in all the way from Trinidad and Tobago. Appreciate you being here. All right, beautiful speed. Great shot, Brittany. All right, now I think she can actually play this ball to cheat it and kind of bump into the 6, but if not, she can just draw back, take her medicine, try to pocket the 8 in the corner or the side. She's kind of ended up on the 50-yard line. I think she's going to be okay, though. The scratch isn't in play. Just introduce a little bit of right. The cue ball will spin off of it and go probably about the second diamond up by that top left corner pocket and around the 4 and the 5. Maybe a touch of low. Just like that. Perfect run out from Brittany. And we are all knotted up at 2 apiece. What a match we have going here, folks. All right, all knotted up at 2. Sara Rocha to break. Last time she was at the table, she broke and run. All right. Getting a little bit more accurate with the cue ball as far as keeping it in the middle of the table. It's not flying off the rack anymore. Just has another minor adjustment or two. I will say she is getting a very good spread and layout for the table every time she breaks. Nothing's really getting cluttered. Everything's just kind of wide open. So if she makes a ball, normally it's off to the races with a break like this. Nothing really tough at all to navigate. If you take solids here, you might just roll forward a little bit and take the 3 ball next. The 10 ball is kind of in an awkward position. Yeah, good shot there. She recognized that the 10 ball was in a weird spot. So she's going to go ahead and take care of the 3 now. Alright. Probably going to take care of the 5 and then put the cue ball right in the middle of the table. A little bit on the high side to take care of the 6 and the 7 next. If I had to assume. Kind of start at one end of the table and work your way all the way down until you have nothing left. That's normally a pretty good strategy to follow. If you don't have to move your cue ball, you don't really want to. She's come up just a tad bit short. Don't think the ball took off on the rail the way she wanted to. Nevertheless, I think she'll be fine. She can always drop down, which is what she's looking at. She can always drop down and play the 7 up in the top left-hand corner pocket. She has used her extension for this rack on this shot. Can't say I blame her. She's trying to figure out the best way to get back in line. She really juiced that ball up. Now she's either got a really long, pretty straight shot on the 2, or she can take the back cut on the 7 ball. Problem with the back cut on the 7 ball is it's kind of hard to keep your cue ball in the middle of the table. You're probably going to have to go all the way over to the rail and try and bounce back out without disrupting any of the balls over there. She might be able to kind of kill it with low inside and not have to drift all the way over. It just depends on the angle. Sometimes these cameras can be a little deceiving, and that's what she's done. She's done it very well. For me personally, I like playing the 2 now. You know for a fact you're going to get a shot on the 1 as long as you make it. And if you draw back to about where it is now, you can play the cue ball. You can play the 1 ball in the side pocket and come off that side rail. Or if you play it a little bit wider, you can draw the ball back over. It's kind of a personal preference and whatever you're more comfortable with. Guys, if I do start repeating myself, I do apologize. I am on my 12th hour of pool for the day. She's done really well there, though. Got a nice shot here on the 8. So far, both players holding serve. That's how important the lag is in this game. Just so everybody knows, everyone's favorite WPBA commentator, LFR Miss Lonnie Fox Raymond, is playing on table 3, which is also being live streamed. She is currently trailing Brianna Miller 2-1. April Larson and Anita Kanjaya have just started on table 8. They are the last match of the day. Anita takes the first rack as Brittany prepares to break for rack number 6 here on table 2. She got a lot of pop, but she kind of hit it off center, and that's why you saw the 12 ball go to the point. I think she's gotten rather fortunate, though. I don't even think Sara can make a shot. I don't think there's a single potable ball for her to shoot at. Pale, I do appreciate the compliments. Hopefully the commentary is bearable. It may or may not be. I will find out when I watch some of it back later. Hopefully I'm not sounding like a hick from Oklahoma, even though I am. Pocket Queen, if you don't mind, just kind of keep me updated in the chat, the game count, because my monitors are taken up at the moment. If you don't mind, whenever Lonnie or Brianna win a rack, just kind of float it in the chat. That would be much appreciated. I actually cannot see their table with where I'm at. I'm doing some work on the tech side on the monitor I would normally use to watch scores. Trying to make the stream even better. Thank you for the updates. All right, so Brittany coming to the table. She is solids. I do believe that 2 ball goes. If it does, that's what she's going to start out with. Nathan, which U.S. Open are you talking about? Talking about the one out at Griff's? The one with 8 ball, 10 ball bank in one pocket? Oh, beautiful shot threading the needle, Britt. If she stayed on the underside of the 7-2, she actually might have a decent angle to draw off the 7 and come down and try and knock the 5 and the 6 loose. If you hit it with good pace on the back side of it, you're liable to split them. The problem is you may or may not get a shot afterwards. Kind of depends on how you go into them. Alright, I like this. Instead of doing it off the 7, she's giving herself a better angle to go off of the 1. It wouldn't surprise me if she tried to contact the 6 on the high side, like she's looking at right now. That'll push the 5 into the rail, up off the 13. Nathan, I'm not quite sure. That would be more of a Lonnie question. So tomorrow, whenever she hops back in the booth, make sure you ask her. All right, Brittany's got kind of unfortunate there that the 6 and the 15 are still kind of stacked together. Honestly, right here, I kind of like playing the 6 into the 15, making the 15, and leaving your cue ball about halfway in between the first and second diamond, using the 3 as a blocker, using it as cover. It leaves the 6 ball in front of the 12, not leaving your opponent a shot. If she's got the angle here, though, to kind of go into the 6 after potting the 5, that's definitely the play. It's just a little bit risky. Oh, that's unfortunate. Alright, she's got to try and find a way to swing at it again. She's not got the best angle for it either. Is she going to play for the bank? Just got to be careful because, oh, she's playing for the cross side. I thought the 12 might have the cross side blocked. Oh, good effort, Brittany. They're questioning whether or not Sara still has an extension. I believe Brittany's saying that Sara used her extension on the 14 off the opening break, which I don't exactly recall, but it sounds about right. I'm kind of surprised Sara didn't just go ahead and start with the 12 all the way down. She's gotten a really nice shot, really nice defensive shot there, though. good shot there by Brittany. I like the way that she played it. The speed was perfect. She didn't overpower it. She made sure that the 6 was going to get a rail, but she didn't put so much power into it that it really sent and rearranged the furniture. Alright, Brittany's in a little bit of a tight spot. She really doesn't want to break up the 10 and the 13, but she doesn't have a whole lot of a choice. She's looking at clipping off the side of the 6 ball, trying to send it a little bit more towards the middle of the table and trying not to irritate the 10 and the 13 too much. It's a very, very touchy shot. Requires a lot of precision. Yeah, she's not going to get a rail with that. Thank you for the update on Lonnie's match. Sounds like it's a little bit of a back and forth fight. Alright, I expect Sara to kind of draw this cue ball out to the middle of the table. Let's see if she takes care of the 13 first or if she goes after the 9. I kind of like going after the 9 first here because then you know you're coming back to the middle of the table for the 13. You can just drop down for the 11. But she sees the pattern just a tad bit different than I do. Probably going to introduce a little bit of inside English on this ball to kind of stretch the angle. That way she's not going too far up. I think she's a little bit thinner on this than she wanted to be. She's probably going to have to go all the way up and down. Using a little bit of a punch draw stroke. She might be able to use inside and kind of kill it off the ball. That's what she's done. Okay. Thought she might be a little thinner on that, but she was able to use inside and catch the ball thick enough to kind of kill the ball. Seems like a pretty straightforward 8 ball for Sara. And that it is. So Sara is the first player to win on the opponent's break. This would be in Green Bay, Wisconsin, in the United States of America. I'm going to attempt to pronounce the name. Toyoshimi. I probably butchered that, and if I did, I do apologize. I've been having to ask players all week to help me with pronunciations. a lot of these players, especially the international ones I'm seeing for the first time. The ones that were at the WPBA stop in Louisville I've met, but Arlene, I do appreciate it. I do try my best to be as informative as possible. I may not be the greatest player in the world, but I do feel like I analyze things relatively well. I am definitely a student of the game. I've loved this game since I was about 8 years old, when my late grandfather had a pool table in his garage. I would go over there every weekend and play with him. I didn't own my first non-Walmart cue until I was about 16. I bought it at Chester's Billiards in Oklahoma City, where I'm from. A guy named Chip Compton was in the room. I had just learned about the game of one pocket, thought I'd give it a try. Donated a couple $100. And that was that. I had a really good pool scene though in my late teens, and it's only gotten better since I moved to Louisville. Back in Oklahoma City, I had Chip Compton, Joey Gray. Up in Tulsa, there was a pro by the name of John Gabriel. He's the best part-time player I think I've ever seen in my life. He plays 6 months out of the year and works the other 6. It's thoroughly impressive how good he is for only playing about half the year. He might only actually play for 5. But I've tried to take in as much information as I can so I could do this as much as people will let me. Alright, let's see what Brittany's got. Michael Joey can definitely play. He actually doesn't play as much as he used to. He actually bought a bar and put a couple pool tables in it in northwest Oklahoma City. It's called Joey's Sports Bar and Grill, I believe. Yeah, that sounds right. But he doesn't get to play as much as he used to. He still goes out to Vegas for the amateur tournaments, and he's still a brand ambassador for Q-Tech. He still picks up a pool cue here and there, but I heard he's been playing a lot of golf and doing a lot of working out in his free time, and I can't say I blame him. Alright, I guess we're going to start a little Nick Varner wedge up there in the top right-hand corner. Brittany's actually done really well with that. She's put the 14 right in front of the 3, but it's right in front of the pocket, so she can find a way to slam a ball up into the 3, it might jar everything loose. She's almost got a guaranteed make. I think we're going to see them kind of putt the ball around for a minute. Brittany might take on this 12. It really doesn't lead to a whole lot, though. That's the only problem. If she was a little bit higher up on it, she might be able to get onto the backside of the 13 to where she can punch that ball into the 314, but she was trying to get all the way down to the end rail. It's going to be okay, though. Sara's probably just going to go ahead and make Brittany's 14 ball and put the 3 ball in the pocket to use as a breakout ball later. Problem is she has to be a little bit weary about where she leaves the cue ball because that 13 ball is up there. So she leaves her a decent shot on the 11 to where she can swing back around the table and use the 13 ball to break out the 9. That'd be a little bit less ideal. That's why you see her bringing the cue ball back down. Alright, I see Lonnie's tied it up at 3-3. April is down 2-1 to Anita Kunjaya. Naomi and Bean are all square at 2 apiece. Wow, what a shot there by Brittany. That's a good one pocket shot. It's a really good one pocket shot. Now you're just gonna see Sara kind of tick the 1 ball a little bit under the 9. Problem is she could leave Brittany a shot on the 9. I think she has. And it comes, I mean, as long as you're anywhere on this side of the table, the bottom side, you're gonna have a shot. All right, we've got our first winner from round number 2 on the B side for the 8 o'clock matches. Wanling Wong has beaten Haran Lee 7-4.
And then at 1 o'clock we have winners qualification round. And at 3 o'clock we'll have winners qualification round, and that will get us to 16 players. So we have a winner over here. Let's get it up for Soledad Ayala. And keep it going for Tina Larson.
All right. So the 9 ball still kind of makes the 1 ball a little funny. That's a very uncharacteristic miss right there. She might have got fortunate if Brittany can't see the 12, though. If Brittany can see the 12, I think she's in business. She'll pull back within 1 game. I think she's got to kind of spin into it. Oh no, she didn't. She could see plenty of it. Alright, the way she played that tells me that that 9 ball goes past the 1. And if it doesn't, you can always overcut it and play it off the 3 as well. It's a little bit riskier of a shot, but you're going to leave the 9 ball in the corner no matter what. Oh, wow. She can't believe it didn't fall. Alright, Brittany's got a shot. It's not an easy shot, but this ball is cuttable. The 2 balls, if you put enough inside English on this and play it rail first, the 2 ball is blocking you from scratching. The English is really going to take off the rail. You're actually probably going to hit the top side of the 2. You have to hit it perfect though. This is not, oh, she's going to try for the bank. If you're going to play this shot, I would highly recommend playing at pocket speed. That way you block your opponent's pocket for the 2. If it doesn't go clean, then she might have to play it on the bottom rail. Yeah, I think she was trying to play it off the bottom rail on the back side of the 2. Alright, we got a little over 500 people watching. The chat's pretty quiet. Either y'all love the sound of my voice or you just have me muted. It could go either way. I do think Sara's a favorite to get out of the rack here. This is going to be the toughest shot, mainly because she's using the bridge. She trying to put a good draw stroke on it with the bridge? Okay, no, just stopping the cue ball. Alright, expect her to play the 6 first, then the 2. 6, 2, 5, 8 to try and take a 5-2 lead over Brittany Bryant. Elected to go for the 5 first. I don't blame her. Alright. So she's just going to go in reverse order of what I said, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that pattern. I personally like to leave my last ball before the 8, as close to the 8 as possible. Especially when I know I've got 2 balls pretty much hanging in the hole. I can get almost anywhere I want on the table. It guarantees that my shape and I'm not going to get out of line for the 8. Nick, I do agree. I've said it multiple times on every stream that I've commentated on today. The Aramith Blacks are the best balls to play with on the market as a player, but as a commentator, they are the absolute worst for the game of 8 ball. 9 ball, 10 ball rotation, anything like that, any kind of rotation game where shooting solids and stripes doesn't matter, or bank or one pocket, anything, basically any game on the planet besides 8-ball, the Aramith blacks are okay. The problem with them for 8-ball is sometimes it's hard to differentiate between the 8-ball and one of the stripes if it's laying at the right angle. But as far as the color contrast as a player, I absolutely love it. When I'm on the table and the Aramith blacks are on it, I'm just giddy with excitement. All right, let's see if Brittany can get the 13 ball down. She has. Brittany's hitting the break very well. The referee might have to mark the two. Nope, okay. Pocket Queen keeping us updated on Lonnie Fox Raymond's score. I do appreciate it. That's for me personally, so I'm very color deficient. I actually can't see the colors green and blue. So rotation games for me are a little bit tougher. But for me personally, I love the contrast of the colors on the balls going into black as opposed to the colors on the ball going into white. It makes it easier for me. And I've heard a lot of people saying the same thing. So I mean, I'm not going to call it a popular opinion, but it is a relatively common opinion, if that makes sense. I've actually met a lot of pool room owners who said that if it wasn't for the fact that people coming in, like you've got your pool players who come in and they understand that there's different sets of balls. I mean, you've got multiple different companies that produce a set of balls, but the standard for balls, that was an uncharacteristic miss by Brittany. The standard for balls is the stripes are contrasted with white. And a lot of pool room owners fear that regular patrons walking in off the street who just want to shoot a game or two at pool won't like the way that it looks and they'll go elsewhere. And that's why a lot of pool room owners don't really have a lot of sets of Aramith blacks. Aramiths are widely known and regarded as the best set of balls on the market. But a lot of players really do like the Aramith blacks as well. Grasshopper over here giving life advice. It's very true. Second to none, I do agree they are perfect for 9-ball tournaments. For me, the easiest one to differentiate is the yellow 9-ball from the 8-ball. A lot of people do prefer the white, but I mean, it's not, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. It's just a personal preference on my end, especially with my eyes the way they are. I was a welder from the time I was 14 up until about 2 years ago. And I was the welder who refused to use a welding hood when he tacked pieces together, so my eyes are bad. I hated the marble set. It's awful. I don't want to say awful. It was not friendly for me. Richard, I do agree. The contrast is a lot more difficult to see when the Aramith blacks are in use on screen. In person, it's really easy on me, but yeah, the Aramith blacks are not the greatest for TV. What is the plan for the 4? Well, honestly, Sara could shoot it now. She's choosing not to. I guess she's going to spin the cue ball around the table back to the right side, drawing off the 3. Kind of got to dig into it and get it to bite. Yeah, that was the problem the whole way. So if you hit it too hard, you don't give the cue ball a chance to bite. And if you don't give the cue ball a chance to bite, you're going straight down the rail or straight off the tangent line of the ball that you're contacting. Rebecca, this is the last round of the day. We've been playing since 10 a.m. We will start again tomorrow at 11. So, as far as the color of the scorecard, you are asking the wrong person because I am blue-green colorblind. That's why playing rotation for me is a little bit tougher because I know that the green ball, or the 6 is green, the 2 is blue, and I've got a special pair of glasses that I can wear whenever I'm commentating that allow me to see colors better, but I can't wear them while I'm playing. So if I ever play rotation, I have to walk around the entire table and find out where the 2 and find out where the 6 is. Pat, 100% agree. Yeah, we were not made aware of the sets of balls we were using for this tournament. I think us at Expo, we just kind of assumed, which you should never assume, but I think we just kind of assumed that we were going to use the standard blue-green, or not blue-green, the standard Aramith Pro Cup set, which is what a lot of major tournaments use. And when we saw that they were using Aramith blacks, we've never experimented with them on our streams. And so we didn't realize just how hard it was to see the contrast between the colors on the Aramith blacks as opposed to the Pro Cups. All right, this 8-ball to pull back within 2 games. Come on, Brittany, knock her down. All right. Good shot. Looks like Sara might take a little bit of a break. I do think we're going to take a quick player break. I'm going to do the same. I've been in a booth for almost 12 hours, so don't mind me if I step away real quick. Y'all keep the chat going, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. I apologize. I was talking to my fearless leader Kyle. I am back. Had to talk to him about a few things that were buttoning up. Oh, come on, Britt. Fall. It's actually probably better that it didn't fall. Yeah, I did take a small break. I feel like I'm allowed to, but if y'all tell me I'm not allowed to, then that's perfectly fine. I'll stay in for 12 hours straight. We'll run it. That's fine by me. All right, let's see. Where's LFR at? She's all square with Brianna at 4-4. So I'm not promising anything, but I am hoping to have at least one, if not two more camera angles for this table tomorrow. You'll just have to stay tuned to figure out which ones, if they happen. Alright, well, it looks like Brittany pretty much ran down. And I saw her hang the 10 ball up. Alright, Matt, you got it. No breaks. You owe me a Corona after I'm done, though. That's all I ask. Let's see. She's kind of fallen in no man's land here. The 1 and the 5 are very awkward as well. Alright, so I will let y'all know that the shot clock situation, so it is a 40-second shot clock. It's not like the normal WPBA rules because this is a WPA event. It's sponsored by the WPBA, but it is not an official WPBA event. You get 60 seconds after the break, and then you get 40 seconds for each subsequent shot. But they are letting the players, if they are down on a shot, they're letting them take more than 40 seconds. But if they stand up after that and they don't have an extension, that's whenever a foul will be called. Alright, is she playing this 2 rails or 1? I think she's playing it 2 with the way she's cueing on the cue ball, but I don't know. I don't dislike the shot, yeah. You have to cut it a little bit more, but Nathan, the referee, actually does have a stopwatch. The referee normally keeps the stopwatch in their hand. So there's actually not a timekeeper on this table. The only table that has a true timekeeper, his name's Bob Raymond, is table 1. So table 1 and table 2 are the only tables that use shot clocks. The shot clock on table 1 is designated to one specific timekeeper. The shot clock on table 2 is the ref's responsibility to keep. And yeah. Luke, it's something like that. Alright, so she got... Ooh. Alright, Brittany, this is the chance you needed. Alright, so it's in kind of an awkward position. If she tries to go forward, she's going to clip the 5 ball, and it's going to track back towards that top right-hand corner pocket. But if she draws off of the 14, she's going to clip the top side of the 5, and she might not have a shot. The 8 may or may not pass the 1. We're about to find out, depending on how she plays this. Alright, so she was able to go into the 5 pretty full. She's got a little bit of a back cut, but this is a shot that she is more than capable of making. The problem is, I don't think she can use top to get down to this bottom rail. I think that leads to a scratch, so she might have to use center ball and kind of punch at it or draw at it, which makes the shot inherently more difficult. Yeah, if she hits that and makes it, I do think that it could be a scratch. She has done well though. The 6 ball does not go in this bottom right hand corner from the way it looks on the screen. I think you'll see Sara here clip off of the 5 ball to open up the 5 and the 7. Leave the cue ball on the left side of the table, that way Brittany is going to have to kick. Alright, I think you're going to see Brittany call this bottom left-hand corner pocket. She's got to be real careful though, because the way she's hitting the 8th, the cue ball would be tracking towards the bottom right-hand corner. Man, I gotta sleep at the tables. I don't know if I like that. They got me a hotel room. I'd like to use it. Oh, she could see an edge. Oh, it was a good hit. Barely got there. But she's done well. The only ball that Sara can see is this 6 ball. And she might not be able to thin off of it and try and get behind the 5 and the 7. It might be tracking towards the side. I don't know. I think she can thin off of it and hit just above the side pocket and try and swing back around on the right side of the table. It's just very, very touchy. You have to be on the rail, because if you're not on the rail, Brittany's going to be able to see. So she's electing to go ahead and try and make the 6. I don't blame her. The 5 and the 7 are lined up pretty well. Ooh, the ball kind of took a little bit of a turn, like it hit a piece of lint on the table. Luckily for Brittany, it went to the left and not the right. Alright, this to pull back within 1. Alright, nice shot, Brittany. Score is going to be 5-4. She about reached in the pocket to pull balls out like it was drop pockets. It in fact is not. It has been a long day for everybody. I think Brittany was actually one of the first matches of the day too, so she's definitely had a long one. Let's see, what do we got for scores over here? LFR up 5-4 over Brianna Miller. April Larson made a little bit of a comeback. She's up 4-3 over Anita Kanjaya. Naomi is down 5-2 to Bean. Kaylee and Shin are all square at 5 apiece. And then table 7, Samia is leading Tani 6-4. So, a couple of really good matches. Nothing's really drastic one way or the other. What a break. Just needs a ball to go down. She didn't hit it as full as she would have liked. If she did, the cue ball would have been on the right side and the 12 ball would have dropped. She kind of crossed over the face of the head ball. That's what threw the angle off on the 12 tracking towards the side. Everything's kind of wide open now. The 9 leads to the 14 in the top right corner. Every solid has a pocket. This is just kind of a game of who's going to run out first. Sarah's got the first attempt at it. No real issues on the table. She just has to pick out which ball she wants to start with. I think stripes have the easiest opening shot. If you really want solids, though, you can cut the 4. The problem is you might be running into what looks to be the 13. Yeah, she's just going to go ahead and start with the 9-14.
For the 7-4 victory over her countrywoman, Taom. We have 5 tables in play.
Trying to draw around the 7. Definitely didn't want the touch there. Think she's going to be okay, though. This is another one of those where she can kind of pinch draw with a little bit of inside. It's going to be a little bit of an awkward bridge because she's right-handed. But I think she'll be okay. Just kind of pinch it out to the middle of the table. For either the 13 or the 15 next, you'll have options if you hit it right. She's just going straight center bottom. She's not even putting any inside on it. Perfect placement. Gonna try and land pretty flat on the 13. All right. I think this is why I would have liked to be a little bit flatter on the 13. I'd like to be under this 14 ball, so I'm using the natural angle instead of having to try and create my own. If the 2 ball wasn't there, she could just play this 14 ball straight forward with a little bit of high inside and swing the cue ball 2 rails. But instead, she's going to have to draw it out 2 rails, I think. And this is one of those shots that if she's flat enough on it, she could draw and hit the point, and it could kill the cue ball. LFR on the hill? She is. She still tried to go forward. Got a nice little rub there off the 2. I'll make sure and tell everybody that, or I'll make sure and tell Lonnie that everybody in the chat was rooting her on. All right. Sara Rocha on the hill, leading Brittany Bryant 6-4. She will be breaking. Leading by 2 games, only needing 1. Alright, I just took a peek over at Lonnie's table. Looks like she might have broke dry. Is that what I'm seeing? That's the break that Sarah's been looking for. The 2-ball kind of gave the 13 a little bit of a nudge. It was heading straight for the side pocket. There is a little bit of traffic on the table. What looks to be the 15, 4, and 10. The 10 ball is a good breakout ball for it, though. If she can find a way to stay down here on the bottom side of the 10, she can clip off the 4. But then you have to worry about the 9 and the 6. The 6 does go, the 9 doesn't. Lonnie is playing Brianna Miller-Luke. Oh, did Brianna break? Okay. I see Lonnie's got her cue in her hand now, so I was paying attention to Lonnie's match. I didn't even see what Brittany shot. Let's look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ball. Alright. So Brittany has elected to take solid. She's actually in a really good spot too, because the 4 ball does go all the way up in that corner, and the 6 does go down here in the bottom right. I do think that's she might play the 2 next, but I think now's the time to play the 6. Especially if you're running into the 9 thick. The 9 might hold shape for the 4 for you. But if you're gonna clip off of the 9, then I think the 2 ball's the right shot. Alright. Alright, so she's elected to play the 2, which is going to lead to either the 3 or the 1. She's got a little bit of options. She could play the 1 ball with a high right ball and come 2 rails above the 4. But I think she's going to take the 3 and give herself a better angle for the 6. Oh, she broke out the 6. Very nice shot. Now she can play the 4 and kind of drag the cue ball back down for the 6, avoiding the traffic of the 12 and the 10. Or 15 and 10, I apologize. Great shot there. Now here, just to avoid anything to do with the 12, I'm probably going to play this with a draw stroke and try and draw over to the right long rail. She's got the perfect angle to do it. She'll hit right below the side pocket. She could elect to play the ball forward though too. With her being stretched out, I don't blame her. She got a nice little rub there on the 14. Aubrey, I could not agree more. I don't know if occasional is the right word though. I think the word you're looking for there is constant. Oh, that's really unfortunate. I do know one thing. As soon as this match is over, I am going to the room and going to sleep. I might just do the cameras in the morning. No, I need to do them tonight. Good shot there. I think she was looking for a little rub on the 8, but I think she'll be okay. Alright. Lonnie is back at the table. Nice shot there by Sara. Really close to the work on the 9, so she had to elevate a little bit to get the ball to draw back. Well done. Playing this with a high inside ball to help it spin out. Didn't quite get all of it that she wanted. She should be okay. She does still have the 11 up there in the top left. It's just a little less than ideal. She was trying to clear this side of the table before she moved up there. The nice thing about the 11 is as long as you can avoid contacting the 1, it does come with shape for the 10 or the 15. Oh, the 15 must be level with the side pocket. I thought it was a little bit above. I don't know if she's come away with a shot after that. She's blocked on the 14. I don't know if she can see the potting angle for the 11. If she can, she's okay. She's looking at the 10 now, though, like she can't. So it looks like she might play the 10 ball back down here in the left corner. Leave the cue ball down there on that on that top end rail. Okay, just bumping it. Brittany immediately goes to the jump cue. She's calling the jump bank. 1 ball cross side.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bean Hung has advanced. Give it up for her. Keep it close. Naomi Williams from Canada for a great event. UFC Bean tomorrow.
Alright, good effort there by Brittany. Cue balls ended up okay. It's a lot of blue in between the cue ball and the 11. I think she might have left Brittany the edge of the 1. Alright, Brianna's won that rack against Lonnie. Alright, Brittany has used her extension for this rack. Looks like she's going to be kicking. I guess Sara did not leave her the edge of the ball. I would have been shocked if she did. Mike, I do believe that's what she's trying. She's going to use inside to check it. That was always going to be the worry. If you hit it too thick, the cue ball's tracking straight down the rail at the corner. All right, I think we're going to see 11-10, 14-8 for the rack and the match. Simple little draw stroke here. Good shot, punched it out off the rail. Alright, just going to kind of pinch draw this back about 4 to 6 inches from where the 14 is. Should have the 8 ball straight into the side. She might even just play a stop shot just to be safe. Alright. This 8 ball to win the match against Brittany Bryant. Alright. And that's going to do it. Sara Rocha defeats Brittany Bryant 7-4. Appreciate everyone who tuned in for the stream. Even though Brittany's not in the tournament anymore, I am sure we're going to hear her in the commentary booth at some point. I'll bug her enough. I appreciate everyone here. Hopefully you guys tune back in tomorrow. Don't forget to watch the rest of Lonnie's match. Everyone get in the comments and cheer her on. I know everyone here loves her. Appreciate you all. Thank you again. This is Sean Denny with X-Pool signing off, and we will see you tomorrow.